If there's two Spider-Men in the Spider-Verse movies that are extremely optimistic and always believe things are going to work out somehow, it's definitely Miles and Pavitr Pravakar.
You have a choice between saving one person and saving an entire world, every world.
I can do both!
But honestly, I would say Pavitr is even more optimistic than Miles. Miles believes he can save his father and still make everything work without destroying the multiverse, so he clearly has a lot of hope in himself and in finding another way. At the same time though, Miles understands how difficult being Spider-Man really is. He deals with anxiety, pressure, fear, and the constant feeling that the weight of the world is on his shoulders. Even when he stays positive, you can tell he knows being Spider-Man is not easy at all. Pavitr is completely different in that regard. He approaches being Spider-Man almost like it's effortless.
Being Spider-Man is so easy. Well, that was another easy adventure for Spider-Man.
He genuinely thinks everything is simple and manageable, which is funny because most Spider-Men usually see the role as exhausting and emotionally draining. Even Miles, who is more hopeful than a lot of the other Spider people, still struggles with the responsibility. Pavitr doesn't really have that same burden yet. In his world, he's basically treated like a celebrity in his neighborhood, and people admire him openly. He hasn't experienced the same level of suffering and loneliness that many Spider-Men go through, which explains why his attitude is so carefree compared to the others. What also makes Pavitr stand out is how unique his origin story is. Unlike most Spider-Men, he didn't get his powers from being bitten by a radioactive spider. His powers came from a mystical encounter with an ancient yogi, a holy man who chose him to become a protector and gave him spider abilities through magic. That already makes his version of Spider-Man very different from the others because his powers are tied to spirituality and mysticism instead of science. Pavitr is also someone who's really good at reading people, and you can see that almost immediately with the way he notices the romantic tension between Miles and Gwen.
Oh, you weren't invited and you came anyway.
Right?
Hey, new guy must be in love with you.
Okay,
No, I'm not.
Oh, I'm very good at reading people.
This romantic tension is so palpable.
If Spot gets more holes,
Will they, won't
he'll
they?
be unstoppable. We can't let him get
Alchemist?
See? How can you guys even concentrate?
The moment he meets them, he already picks up on the obvious chemistry between the two and starts teasing them about it. What makes it funny is how natural it feels for him. Pavitr is the type of person who can connect with almost anybody very quickly, which is also why he has such a close bond with Hobie. He has a very energetic and charismatic personality, so people naturally gravitate toward him. At the same time, that cheerful personality is what makes his situation so heartbreaking. Unlike most Spider people, Pavitr still doesn't fully understand the emotional burden that usually comes with being Spider-Man. He is still in that early phase where he believes he can save everyone and that things will always work out somehow. Gwen especially understood that eventually something tragic was going to happen to him because according to the canon events Miguel talks about, the death of a police captain close to Spider-Man is supposed to happen in every universe. In Pavitr's case, that captain was the father of his girlfriend, which made the situation even more painful. At that moment, he was basically carrying the exact same mindset Miles would later have. He believed he could save both people. He didn't want to choose between his girlfriend and her father because in his mind, Spider-Man should be able to save everyone. While all of this was happening, Gwen already knew where things were supposedly heading, so there's this really sad tension during the scene because she's waiting for the tragic moment she thinks is inevitable. But then Miles intervenes and saves the captain, breaking what Miguel considers a canon event. Because of that, Pavitr never experiences the tragic loss that Miguel believes is necessary for every Spider-Man. That's what makes the situation so important to the story. Pavitr is clearly very grateful to Miles for helping him save the captain. From his perspective, Miles helped protect both his girlfriend and her father, proving that it was possible to save everyone in that situation. Right after that though, we start seeing Pavitr's universe showing signs that the canon was supposedly broken. Personally, I honestly think that destruction had more to do with the Spot being there and destabilizing everything than Miles simply saving the captain. The Spot was already causing chaos throughout the multiverse, so it makes sense that his actions played a huge role in what happened to that universe, but from Miguel and the Spider Society's point of view, The damage was treated as direct proof that Miles broke the canon.
That wasn't me. That was the spot.
It's what happens when you break the canon.
What's interesting is that after this moment, Pavitr completely disappears for most of the film. He doesn't take part in the chase against Miles alongside the other spider people, even though we know he's technically part of the Spider Society. That absence is really noticeable because it leaves the question of how he truly feels about Miguel's ideology. Considering Miles was the one who helped save the people closest to him, it makes sense why Pavitr would eventually side with him instead of blindly following Miguel. That's why it's so meaningful when we finally see him again at the very end as part of Gwen's team going to rescue Miles. In a way, it's like Pavitr is trying to return the favor after everything Miles did for him earlier in the film. Miles gave him hope that being Spider-Man didn't automatically mean accepting tragedy, so now Pavitr is willing to stand beside him when he needs help the most. The creators already established him as the guy constantly teasing Miles and Gwen about their feelings, so there's a very good chance that continues in the next movie.